Welcome to Everything EFL. My name's Erin O'Byrne, and I firmly believe that you as a teacher are special, amazing, creative and passionate. But it's very easy to get burnt out and overwhelmed. With my podcast and my teacher training, I aim to help you avoid burnout and cut down on your prep time so you can unleash your creativity and enjoy your work more mindfully. Are you ready? Let's go! Hello, you gorgeous teacher. Welcome to Everything EFL. If you're one of my lovely regular listeners, welcome back. If you're a brand new listener, you're most welcome. I hope you stick around. Right, today we are talking about something that is very dear to my heart, and that is my happy place. I did a video on this ages ago, just like a 1-minute video, just for like a little slice of mindfulness for yourself and your students. And this is something I do with every class. My classes change quite frequently. And the inspiration for it was actually from good old friends. In one of the early seasons, Monica had just broken up with her boyfriend and she was really depressed. So Phoebe had her laying down on the bed and she said to her, go to your happy place, think of the babbling brook and all the other things. And she was trying to just get her into sort of a more positive mindset. So this kind of inspired me because when I'm a little bit stressed or anxious, I close my eyes, I breathe, and I tend to think of myself sitting on a beach. And I'm going to describe my happy place for you now, exactly as I would with my students. So I tell my students just to, roll their shoulders, roll their necks, put their fingers together, like lace your fingers together, put them on your lap, relax, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and make sure your voice is nice and soothing. You could even put a little bit of, sound effects on YouTube in the background, some meditation music, or I personally like, that delicious sound of waves gently crashing against the shore. I think that's a really nice, relaxing sound. So what I do is I describe in detail my happy place. Here we go, guys. If you want to just relax and get into position and close your eyes and take a deep breath, here we go. So in my happy place, I'm sitting on a beach and I'm on a towel and my legs are stretched out in front of me. My toes are painted red and my legs are lovely and tanned. And I put my hand on the sand and I feel it between my fingers and it's fine like powder. And I look ahead and I can see the sea. And it's calm, crystal clear. And if you go there to the shore, you can see into the bottom of the sea. Behind me, there are some palm trees and I can hear that rustling of the breeze. There is a little breeze, very gentle, very warm. I can feel it against my skin. I can also feel the warmth of the sun against my skin as well. Etc., etc. And then I ask my students just to stay there for 1 minute, breathe, just imagine you're right there with me. And then we open our eyes. So that's the first stage. You can just do that as a meditation. But there are so many other things you can do with your happy place. And this is what we're going to talk about now. And credit please to Laura, Adele, Sarah, Erica and Christina, who are some of the teachers that I did some professional development with in the summer last year. And we kind of came up with a few ideas together. So what can you do? Okay, you can get students to think about their own happy place. You can get them to close their eyes, meditate, and write on the board, what can you see? What can you hear? What can you touch? What sensations can you feel against your skin or your face? What can you smell? And get them to stay there for a few minutes. Another thing you can do is get them to write about it. Just some nice, free, creative writing. They can also draw a picture if they like. If you have a low level, obviously, you can do the happy place, change your language so it's very, very simple. And if you ask them to write about it, just give them a few writing frames like I can see, my happy place is. You can also use a few pictures to facilitate the writing for them as well. Just help them with it a little bit. I'd say with higher levels, anything above pre-intermediate really, you can probably just put on a nice bit of music and just get them to write, and then you can correct, monitor, do whatever you like. There. You could get your students to get into pairs and describe their happy place to a partner, and their partner can draw it. And if your students have already drawn a picture of the happy place, they can compare their pictures as well. That can always be fun, but that's not necessary for that activity. You could do a focus on adjectives or collocations, like beach, okay, sandy beach, sand like powder, the rustling of the leaves, the gentle crashing of the waves, things like that. You could give them some really nice phrases and collocations here. And then that's something you could also do as they are writing. If you want, you can do that in the monitoring stage instead and just offer them some elevated language. Your choice. You can also talk about your emotions. How do you feel when you're there? Again, you could give them some vocabulary like completely safe, safe and snuggly, snug as a bug in a rug, whatever you feel like. Another idea is to join 4 drawings to create one big happy place. So get everybody to draw, and they can talk about it as well, just to make it linguistic. And then you can kind of staple or stick 4 happy places together to create one big happy place. And then maybe you can do some more descriptive stuff from there. One thing I do a lot is I use this to calm students' nerves. So if you've got a test, or even just at the start of a lesson, or even with fast finishers, actually, just get them to go to their happy place, especially before tests, just that minute of quiet time, breathing, going to the happy place. That can really help just put them in the right frame of mind and just calm their nerves a bit. With fast finishers, like I said, I did this, was it last year? One girl finished before everybody else, and I said, "Have you finished?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Go to your happy place." And she immediately just dropped her head to her chin and closed her eyes, and it was so lovely to see. Some students like this, some won't. I've said, "Go to your happy place" before to some students, and they've just kind of looked at me and laughed nervously. It's not for everyone, but, like I always say, you got to try new things. And, it might take some students a bit of time to get into it. I've had kind of the reaction where, I've asked students to close their eyes and I start describing and I'm kind of looking around, and some of them are kind of giggling nervously. But by the end of it, when you give them time just to chill out on their own and breathe and be in the happy place, they're really into it. They're just there, they're calm, their eyes are closed, they're breathing, and it's really, really nice. Another thing you could do is you could ask students to find a picture that best represents their happy place, and then you could print it, and then from there they could do a spoken or a written description or something like that. I mean, look, the possibilities are endless here. This is the magic of the happy place. Not only is it good for your well-being, but there is a lot of language to be generated there. And, you don't necessarily have to prepare anything either. Like I said, with the collocations and phrases, you can either prepare things or just see what students come up with and then offer them better alternatives or more correct alternatives. Perfect, prep-free. That's what we like, don't we? Okay, guys, that's it. That is it. Short and sweet. A little bit like me. As per usual, follow me on the social medias. Subscribe to my podcast if you haven't already. Share any of my posts on your social medias and your stories. Talk me up to your colleagues. Tell them how great this podcast is. If you'd like a poster for your staff room, DM me or email me and I'll send you one to print off. Let's keep this podcast growing. I love doing it. I love serving you. I love getting messages from you. I love getting questions from you. And I just want to keep this going for as long as I possibly can, with as many teachers as I possibly can. So as always, be safe. Take care of yourself. Go to your happy place and share the love. Bye.